Well, here we go. Let's see. Welcome back to another episode of Meredith with a Y. I am your host, Meredith Willits, and today I'm going to be talking about manifesting you in 2024. Stay with me. Hello, everyone. This is Meredith with a Y, and I am your host, Meredith Willits. Today, we are going to go deep, changing lives, and I am giving you the keys to the castle. Sorry about that delay, everyone. I'm trying something new, and I am streaming live to Instagram. So hopefully that is working out over there. It is a bit of a delay, and it's a new program. So hopefully everything's working out over there. If you're listening to me on the podcast, welcome back. And if you're watching me live on either LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, welcome back. So I have been really thinking about the way I want to present myself in 2024, what that looks like, how it's going to go, what it means, and how the heck am I going to get there? I've made so many changes. I was looking back through photos from December of 2023. If you haven't done that yet, take a gander. Go over there and check out your 2020 to Christmas photos from last year and just look at how far you've come, how many things you've accomplished, and what you've done this past year, the things that you've made it through, maybe things that were really difficult, maybe things that you don't necessarily think that you were successful at, but yet, hey, guess what? You're still here. Because if you're listening to this podcast right now, if you're watching here live streaming, that means you've made it through. You've got through all of these difficult things through this past year. Heck, you've made it through a pandemic. Heck, you've made it through a lot. Okay. And so you should be really proud of yourself. But what are we doing for this next year? My sister and I were just talking about the fact that we were never necessarily, quote unquote, taught to set goals for ourselves. We were told things like you could be anything what you want when you grow up, but there was really no, it's great, but how do I get there? Like, what does that mean? You could be anything you want when you grow up. What does that mean specifically? And so I like to do reverse engineering because it allows your imagination, it allows you to go to the end game of where and who it is that you want to be. It allows you to go way on the other side of success, the other side of challenges. It goes to the other side is that you want to be and where it is that you want to go and see that end game. And then reverse engineer as to how that happened. And so when I imagine myself in December 2024, I look at it and I go, wow, I got to go on a vacation where those houses are in Bora Bora or Fiji. I see myself like, oh, I have a in that place and I can read to the vacation that I went on. So what good does any of this do? Why verse and why bother seeing yourself in 24 in December? Why does this matter? Why does this help, right? And the reason that it does is because so often when we are where we're at and we think of where we want to go, that seems like a really big mountain to climb. That is a really big hurdle. Well, what's the next step? Well, what's the point? Like, who cares if I plan a vacation? What does that matter? But when we see ourselves at the and we already had gone on that vacation, we already ate all the healthy food, we already took all the supplements that maybe we wanted to try out, we drank the protein powder, we did the 30-minute walk a day. We get to see how that all added up to become the person in December. versus, well, okay, if I walk every day, nothing really changes. Like, maybe I lose weight, maybe I quit. But when we first engineer it, we get to see all the things that we did individually that got us to the place at the end of the year that we worked towards that entire time. I think it's easier. I think that it works through blocks, that moving in a forwardly motion, working in a forwardly motion creates blocks, whereas working in a reverse motion, like manner, we've already accomplished it. We see ourselves. We see our clear skin. We see our great relationships with friends. We see, the clubs that we've joined. We see the new career. We see the new relationship. Maybe you wanna manifest, a committed monogamous relationship with somebody. We see ourselves happy and holding hands with that person, maybe celebrating at the holidays, maybe going on a trip in December of 2024 with that person to Italy or to, South Carolina or something. We can see that not only is it possible, but we can then feel the vibration of that relationship. We can feel what it feels like, and when we're trying to manifest, to be honest with you, from where I have sat and studied this, the feeling, the emotion behind what it is that we want in our life, that is the most important thing, is when someone says to me, let's say an appointment, you know, I want to have a lot of money, or I want to have a relationship, or I want success, right? What I will always tell them, "Well, what does it feel like? What's it feel like to have that money? What's it feel like to have that job?" And if a person's like, I don't know, because I don't have that." I know there's a block there. I know that they are blocking themselves because they can't get there from here. They can't imagine having a happy, healthy, committed relationship because they can't even freaking imagine it, which is why I'm asking you to go backwards. See the relationship, see the commitment, see yourself in that space, feel what it feels like to hold that person's hand, and then let's go backwards. You must have put yourself out there. Maybe you joined some clubs. Maybe you went to places where you could meet somebody. What did that person do to get that relationship? It's also easy when in our mind's eye, we see that person not only as yourself, but maybe as someone else, right? We see that person December 2024. It's us. It's us. It's us. We see them and maybe it's a little bit separate from us. Maybe it's a little bit of that person that's over there. You know how we can always give advice to someone else, but sometimes it's hard to take advice ourselves? We can see that person and we can go, "Okay, that's your friend. It's you. That's your friend. How'd they get there? What is that? What qualities does that person possess? How'd they get in that committed monogamous relationship?" And then I can feel someone right now blocking me. I can feel them blocking because they have a difficult time imagining this wonderful abundance of love for themselves. It's like, "I don't know. I don't know how they manifested that relationship." See, they block. But if I go, "Okay, that's your friend, they manifest. Well, what'd they do? Oh, they probably went out and met people. They probably put themselves out there. They probably, went out to dinner with friends. They went to, like, they joined clubs. They joined maybe a community church or something where they were able to meet people. They went out and asked their friends to set them up with people. They went on, Bumble or whatever these apps are to meet somebody. That's easy. It's easy to imagine the advice you would give to a friend. It's harder when it's ourselves. And so when we see this person out in the future, it's easier to imagine what that person did to get there. We do this all the time on when watching television, but unfortunately, a lot of times we make it much easier. So, I'm a big Housewives person, Bravo Housewives person, 'cause I get to mindlessly watch nothing, and relax. But we watch The Housewives and we're just like, "Oh, well, they just, they just look like that. They just have perfect bodies. They're just genetically, um, more blessed than I am." But recently, they've been showing them working out, which I love because we can sit there and look at someone and imagine how it is that they got that way. Well, they just got rich by, they just inherited, the money, or their husband works, or, they got lucky. But then when we start to realize, well, this person actually came from nothing, or they actually work out 7 days a week, or, I think the hard one for me is when they drink so much alcohol and then they're still in, like, really healthy. Like, that one to me is a tough one right now because 'cause I'm like, "How do you stay so thin? You must really work out a ton. You drink a lot." But it's easy when we look at someone to engineer their life from our imagination. Think about that. You engineer I love this. You engineer people's lives around you all the time. You're constantly imagining what it is about them that got them the life that they have, the car that they have, the body that they have, the family that they have. We re-engineer in our mind's eye people's lives all the time, but now we're just gonna do it for ourselves. So for me, for me, I imagine myself in 2024 that I've gone on, let's say, 2 vacations, 1 to a beach and 1 maybe out of the country, like Italy or something. And then I imagine, that I'm even in better shape than I'm in right now. And so, what are some things that I have to get to do to get those things? Well, 1, I need to figure out a way to pay for those vacations. So I'll be like, "Okay, well, maybe I'll write another book." Or maybe I'll try to get myself a brand deal, or maybe I'll open up my time slots to have more appointments for coaching calls. What do I do to get into better shape? Okay, well, maybe I do my Zing app workout, which I love, by the way. If you're not doing the Zing app, this is not like a sponsorship. I'm obsessed with the Zing app. It's easy, it's great. All you need is dumbbells. Anyways, I keep doing that 5 days a week. I do my Zing app 5 days a week, I walk at least 3 days a week. That is what that person who is in better shape than I am right now, that person is me, continues on this path. They me, also do, a protein shake every single day. They don't skip their protein shakes because I think I, like, do, like, a smoothie with protein powder, like, once a week. I'm horrible at it. Um, so that person in 2024 does a protein smoothie, drink for lunch every single day without fail. And as soon as I see that in my mind's eye, it's like, "Well, yeah, you have to eat enough protein because you're exercising a lot, and so you need to have enough protein to build muscle, then burn fat, yada, yada, yada." It's all just right? And so you can start to see by way of reverse engineering why you're doing these things, how you're doing these things, in what way they're benefiting you, what's going to work, but they're also showing me so let's say, for example oh, I love this. Let's say, for example, I'm manifesting, reverse engineering this woman who is me that is alive in December of 2024, and I imagine all the attributes about her life. I think we should also write this down, by the way. I think it's very beneficial if you write down head to toe, start at the top, literally. What does her hair look like? What does his hair look like? What does their skin look like? What kind of clothes are they wearing? Are they smiling? Are they happy? Do they have their family and friends? I want you to go head to toe, career to relationship, to friendship, to everything. I want you to not leave any stone unturned, and I want you to write this down and start a December I'm gonna call it the December 2024 manifestation journal, and in the beginning, what I want you to do is I want you to start from your head to your toe and from relationship to career, I want you to write down every detail of who this person is, which is you. And I want you to feel as you're writing, 'cause I can feel all of you guys coming up with blocks, by the way. I want you to feel when you get to a certain spot, let's say you really struggle with, clear skin, and your person, you, that you're manifesting in December of this coming year, they have clear skin, and at this time, you really struggle with acne. And so when you get down to writing about this person having clear skin, you might get a lump in your throat, or you might feel yourself getting blocked and saying, "Well, there's no way that that's gonna be me." You feel doubt coming up as you're writing clear skin because you know you're struggling right now. And so I want you to write, "I have a block about this," because this is something that we really need to work on over the next couple months, is the blocks that are coming up that are keeping you stuck in place and from the life that it is that you want. Because there's an answer out there to your acne problem. There's an answer out there to your addiction. There is. But when we can't imagine it, when we have a block to it that either we don't deserve it by way of programming from our childhood or from society, or we believe from the medical, documents that there's no way that we can get that healthy body. There's no way we can get that career. There's no way we would be able to move to Italy and live in the mountains. It's just not for us. That is a block that lives inside of us that keeps us from the stepping stones to take us to the place that we want to go, which is the end game, which is where we're headed, and there is no end game, by the way. There's just, like, an in-between game. The end game, there is no such thing. The end game is death, right? We really don't want an end game. We want, like, a by way of. We want a stepping stone. We want a journey. So we're gonna get this manifestation journal. Maybe I'll create one. That'd be fun. How about I create one and put it up somewhere and you can buy it on Amazon? We'll come up with a manifestation journal for 2024, and we're starting, like I said, head to toe, career to relationship, bank account. We're gonna put all the things in and pay attention to where our blocks are. Pay attention to when tension comes up in our body. Pay attention to when we feel stuck or we start doubting or we start telling ourselves that that's not for us, because those things matter. The lack of the ability to dream or to imagine that that thing is also for us is also causing situations with depression or anxiety. It causes situations with addiction because there's a dream that you have that lives inside of you that is stifled, and when that happens, a part of us dies inside. No one wants to live this life thinking that the life that they want is not accessible to them. No one. Part of us dies when we think that that's not for us, that the happy ending isn't for us, that we'll never have the things that we want, be it a home or an apartment or a reliable car or enough food to eat or a beautiful vacation. No one wants to live that way. We want to believe that it's all possible for us. And so when we see ourselves inside of the manifestation area, inside of the space that is us in the future, living out the manifestation, living out the dream life, living out the things that we want, see how much that elevates you? Don't get in your own way. Don't get in your own way. There's people that are out there right now that are listening to this, they're like, "Yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but." I'm not doing anything to get that life right now, Meredith. I mean, how could I have that? Don't worry about it. I want you to imagine that who you are in December of this coming year is Fort Lauderdale, Florida, okay? That's Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's pretend like you live in Chicago, all right? You can't live in Fort Lauderdale. If you live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, imagine that it's LA, whatever. I want you to imagine like a 1,000-mile trip from where you are in this moment, okay? For me, Fort Lauderdale. And so I set in my GPS system that I want to take a trip to Fort Lauderdale. So, December this year, and we are going on a trip, and we are gonna end up at December of next year. That's our trip that we're taking. Now, I have no clue of the detours or the bridges or the mountains or the left turns or the right turns or the rest stops, or I have no damn clue how my GPS is taking me to Florida. General idea, walking, breathing, existing on the planet. I have a general idea, but I don't know for sure what's going to come up. I don't know what where the orange cones are gonna be for construction. I don't know where I'm gonna stop because I see like, "Oh, there's a cute little cheese store on the side that I wanna stop," right? We don't know how we're going to get to 2024 December. We don't know how we're going to get there. We have 12 months to get there. We have no idea the ups and the downs and the turns and the thises and the that's. But we know we're gonna get there. I know my ass is gonna get to Florida, right? I know it. I put it in the GPS. I don't know how. And I'm not going to concern myself with how. I don't want you to overly concern yourself with how you're going to get to December 2024. Right now, I just want you to get to December 2024, and in your wildest dreams, write down all the things that make up you December 2024. And don't block yourself in this moment while we're writing in our journals over the next 10 days, 12 days, whatever, to the end of the year. I don't want you to be concerned with how. I don't want you to be concerned with, "But I can't." Or you don't understand, Meredith. I don't have the money, or I'm a 200 pounds overweight, or I'm already in a relationship that's abusive, or I don't want you to be concerned with how. I just want you to know I'm going to be in December 2024. This is what my life is like. I am not worried about how. I'm not worried about how come I can't. Just enjoy the dream. Enjoy swimming in that beautiful, delicious, happy, fun energy. I don't care how, not right now. Over the next 12 days, the only thing you're gonna worry about, the only thing you're gonna have fun with, the only thing you're gonna think about is all the amazing things that are happening for you in 2024 December. All I care about. That's all you're going to care about. If something comes up and starts blocking you, flick it away. Flick it away. 'Cause that's your ego. That's your childhood. That's your parents. That's society telling you, "You can't." That's your logical self telling you, "You can't." What if you win the lottery? What if you win the lottery? What if you get like a I mean, I've lost over 40 pounds since, June. Did I think in May that by December, I'd be squeezing into a pair of size 6 jeans yesterday at H&M? Hell no, I didn't, not, because I was squeezing into size 12, 14s. Squeezing. I was best friends with an elastic waistband. I was best friends with a very stretchy bra, and now I'm best friends with different clothes. Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse, but I sure the hell didn't think in May 2023 that in December, I'd be flirting with these clothes, that I'd be flirting with trying to figure out how to, get my workouts in. I was concerned with, how long I could sit on the couch and drink coffee all morning and, what time my friends and I were gonna start drinking booze. That's what my concerns were. My concerns were wine, coffee, and relaxing and getting and going, hanging out and partying. That was what my concerns were in May. My concerns are very different in December. So guess what? You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how you're gonna feel. You don't know what's gonna inspire you, but I sure as shit know that having a dream, having an idea in your mind of the person that you want to become, and let me tell you this right now, it was probably around May that I did an exercise that I imagined my future self and what I looked like standing on stage talking to people, and one of those attributes that I saw about myself was a healthy body. She's in here. That's what I saw. I saw myself as a healthy person. Maybe that imagination moment, maybe that 1 second of imagining myself on stage, healthy, thin, in shape, able to talk for long periods of time without getting winded or dizzy or tired, maybe that's what spurred, "Hey, well, my subconscious and conscious all caught up with each other, came together, and boom, created desire. Boom, created an action plan. Boom, created the new me, this version, and tomorrow might be another version. And I know the old me, all weekend, by the way, was knocking on my door because I drove by the Yard House, which is, like, this really, like, kinda it's actually cooler in Cincinnati. We have a Yard House here, in Chicago, and it's kinda like, I don't know, feels not as energetically aligned as the one in Cincinnati, but it's a huge bar, huge, like, the physical bar itself, this is this big round or, like, oval-shaped bar, and they've got a billion different kinds of beer, and I even said to my husband, we were driving to Dick's to buy, some Christmas presents, and I said, "I want to pull into Yard House right now and just get obliterated." I wanna drink. I wanna drink and get drunk and just drink and laugh and release all my stressors, and mind you, I didn't walk, I don't think, on Saturday. Yeah, I just did, my Zenith, not walk. Um, I was under a lot of stress, and I just wanted to go get drunk. All I wanted to do on Saturday is go get drunk, and I told my husband about it, and I'm pretty sure it was probably jarring to hear that. Um 'Cause if, you know, if I were listening to him talk about alcohol in that way, it would be very concerning to me. And honestly, listening to myself talk about alcohol in that way, even expressing it here to you right now, it's making my stomach sick. It's upsetting to me to hear me talk about alcohol as such a huge escape, as such a huge, um, thing, and my husband and I, were talking, last week, and I said, "Christmas feels different this year." And I said, "I think it feels different because, you know, so often you turn the lights off and the Christmas tree is twinkling and you grab a glass of wine and sit on the couch and watch a movie, and I don't have that this year." And it's the first time, outside of being pregnant in my adult life that I don't have a glass of wine in my hand, on a December evening, you know, even if it's just 1 glass. I don't have that. I don't have that friend anymore. I don't have that escape. I don't have that check out, and I was really thinking about it last night. We are really, really trained, um, that alcohol is a good time, that alcohol is a quiet moment, it's an escape, it's your time to yourself, it's adult time, it's time to party, it's time for, holidays, you know, like that. All those advertisements that tell you that alcohol is Christmas and eggnog and um, Baileys for Christmas morning and a beautiful glass of wine or, all of those things. It gets in there. It seeps in. And so Christmas feels a little different this year. I am recalibrating what, the holidays are. I'm recalibrating what watching a Browns game is, and I'm here to tell you it's not easy. It's a different, different vibe, and I know that it's better for me. I'm becoming a new person without alcohol in my life, but I'm telling you right now, it's not simple. It really isn't, because I want to, just like I said, like, when I walked into an Italian restaurant and, I see the white tablecloths and homemade pasta, and everyone has a glass of red wine on their table. I want that, and it's not a part of my, reality. It's not a part of who I am anymore, so I have to undo that. I have to peel that away from myself because I am a new person now. I want to be a new person, and Christmas is very much in line with the same thing, is I am undoing all that was I have attached to myself to equal Christmas, to equal a December evening, to equal a Browns game, to equal a rainy Saturday afternoon with nothing but time on my hands. Which is why I believe that a lot of people, when they do quit drinking, when they do quit drugs, they start working out because they need another escape. They need another place to put their energy. So it's a new me. This person, me, was born months ago. The idea of who I am today, the idea of who you are today, was born months ago in some way, shape, or form by way of an idea or a dream or a vision that you had for yourself. But what we need to do is we need to be intentional about the vision of who we want to be. We have to be intentional about creating, engineering who it is that we are December 2024. And so I ask you to go out today, even if it's like one of these like $1.99 spiral notebooks, like a small one. Get a little manifestation journal for 2024 and write on the front of it. Design it, color it, get markers, have fun, buy glitter, whatever it is. And just start from your head to your toes and think about all what kind of sheets does that person sleep in? What kind of mattress do they have? What kind of bed do they have? What kind of gym shoes do they wear to walk in? What clubs and organizations have they joined? I want you to go from your head to your toes, from relationship to career. I want you to imagine who that person is without any blocks, without any logic, without any way of how you got there. This would be the first step, and we can all do it together. It doesn't cost anything. So often there's a lot of things in life that cost a lot of money, but we're not gonna be concerned with that right now. We're just gonna work on having fun inside of the imagination. So next week, we'll start talking about, all of these different, concepts and ideas and how to get there. We'll talk about, um, frequencies and the ways to manifest. We're just gonna continue to have fun with it. I personally wanna get really streamlined in my, tenets, the focus of what I talk about over this next year and, like, kinda advertise and who I am. I wanna get really intentional. I wanna really, um, focus on who it is and what my messaging is, even if it's just for 12 months. I don't wanna get caught up in the who I am forever because I'm very all over the place when it comes to creating myself. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year. And so I think it's really important to, like, not think that we need to be the same person forever, and that's okay. But for 12 months, I wanna focus on what's my message for myself and for others for 2024. And maybe that's something cool that you can do too. What's your message? What is the tenets? What are the tenets? What are the pillars of who you are over the next 12 months? What do you stand for? I think when I just said that, some of you paused and went, "Oh shit, what do I stand for? What do you stand for? Who are you?" And it doesn't need to be some, like, political thing. It doesn't need to be like, "Oh, I stand for, the rights of these people." Like, what do you stand for as a person? What who are you? What do you put out into the world? If someone said, "Describe yourself in 3 sentences," what would those 3 sentences be? And do you like those 3 sentences, or would you like to change them? If someone says, "Who are you right now?" Give me a summation in 3 sentences of who are you? Do you like what those 3 sentences are? And if not, I think we have an amazing opportunity to change that, and no one's coming to save you. If anyone's coming to save you, it's this message right now. One of the most powerful things I heard, last year was no one's coming to save you. Because I think that so many of us believe that there's just someone that's going to come in and become our manager or our spouse or our partner or our boss or our whatever, our workout buddy, and make us walk or eat the right foods or whatever it is. No one's coming to save you. So the closest thing to saving you is this message right now. But then you're the one that has to do the work, and it's gonna be fun work. It's exciting work. It's work on you. So, we'll try to keep all of this, like, free, you know what I mean? Like, there are things that you can do that are inexpensive or cheap, because I think a lot of times we look at, changing ourselves as being expensive and, like, "We can do this cheap." Not that I'm charging you, but I mean, like, you can use the gym shoes you have. You can use manifestation techniques are inexpensive. So, thanks so much for listening this week. I really appreciate it. Um I'm excited about this new opportunity here and where we can go with this. I think you guys are gonna help me stay on track. I hope I can help you stay on track. I will be here again next week, so come back and take a listen. Hopefully, this is working out over on Instagram live streaming this morning. Again, it's a new program, so hopefully that's working. But I appreciate you guys all so much. Have a great week. Thanks for listening. If you would like to connect on a more personal level, head over to meredithwillits.com or on Instagram at Meredith with a Y for behind-the-scene footage and outtakes. Please subscribe and come back each week for more Meredith with a Y. Thanks again for listening. Cheers.